Among the philosophers, the great thinkers, and the common Joes of this world, no question is more controversial than truth. Remarkable as it may seem, I can attest that the following events did occur, whether you believe them to be true or not.
When it comes to 1970s television horror, few shows resonate like Kolchak, the Night Stalker. Starring Darren McGavin as the tenacious reporter Carl Kolchak, the series blended noir narration with supernatural intrigue long before The X-Files popularized the genre. Debuting in 1974 on ABC, Kolchak delved into mysterious deaths, monsters, and urban legends lurking in Chicago's shadows. Despite its creative brilliance and a standout lead, it was cut short after just one season. Yet its impact is undeniable, shaping the landscape of genre television and influencing everything from The X-Files to today's paranormal dramas. Let's take a look at the reasons behind its cancellation and explore its enduring legacy. Origins of a cult classic.
The best example of great horror, and it's all about story now, and that's what it's all about. It's all about story. And I will take this with me for the rest of my life. I have never come across a better story than The Night Stalker.
Kolchak, the Night Stalker didn't begin as a series, but as a groundbreaking made-for-TV movie. Based on an unpublished novel by Jeff Rice titled The Kolchak Papers, it told the story of a brash Las Vegas reporter who uncovered a vampire's killing spree. Adapted by acclaimed writer Richard Matheson and released in 1972 as The Night Stalker, the movie was a sensation, earning the highest ratings ever for a TV movie at that time. Matheson's tight script, Rice's concept, and Darren McGavin's performance as Kolchak created a blend of humor, grit, and horror that television audiences hadn't seen before. Viewers were enthralled by the way the story merged supernatural terror with the realism of investigative journalism. The success of The Night Stalker prompted ABC to commission a sequel, The Night Strangler, in 1973. Set in the eerie tunnels beneath Seattle, it saw Kolchak face another bizarre killer and again achieve sky-high ratings. The demand for more adventures was undeniable, and ABC wanted to capitalize on the phenomenon. Matheson even wrote a third script, The Night Killers, about android duplicates infiltrating the government. But instead of another TV film, ABC decided to turn Kolchak's adventures into a weekly series. This marked the beginning of Kolchak the Night Stalker, a show destined to change television, but also one plagued from the start by creative battles and behind-the-scenes tension. As production began in 1974, McGavin returned as Kolchak, joined by Simon Oakland as his exasperated editor, Tony Vincenzo. Despite the excitement surrounding the project, problems emerged almost immediately. Neither ABC nor Universal had properly secured Jeff Rice's rights to the character, resulting in a lawsuit that delayed production. The legal troubles were settled just before airing, but they foreshadowed the turmoil that would haunt the series' short life. It premiered in September 1974 and immediately caught viewers' attention with its unique blend of investigative mystery and horror. Kolchak, armed with his camera, cassette recorder, and relentless curiosity, investigated vampires, werewolves, aliens, and demons, all while clashing with skeptical authorities. The show was unlike anything else on television, blending horror, humor, and social satire. But despite the creative potential, the conditions behind the scenes began to unravel what could have been a long-running hit. Production struggles.
Version, right? Played Macduff in Macbeth. Isn't it going to be kind of dull being a newspaper reporter every week?
Oh, no, I don't think so. We're having a terrific variety of scripts coming in. And it really has to do with the kind of material that you're dealing with, really. And I like Kolchak. I like the character. Kolchak. And we have a lot of fun with it. And apparently the audience seems to like it.
Kolchak's production problems were nearly as dramatic as its stories. Darren McGavin, who fought hard to bring the series to life, frequently clashed with producer Cy Chermak. While McGavin wanted to preserve the gritty tone and journalistic realism of the original movies, Chernak and ABC favored more formulaic Monster of the Week episodes. Each week featured a new supernatural entity which satisfied network executives but frustrated McGavin, who felt it reduced the show to predictable pulp. The production faced grueling schedules, mostly filmed in Los Angeles, despite being set in Chicago, limiting its authenticity. Deeply invested, McGavin often took on uncredited tasks, rewriting scripts and acting as a producer without recognition. His dissatisfaction grew as the scripts fell short of his standards. Writers shared in the frustration. David Chase, who later created The Sopranos, infused the show with offbeat humor and cynicism, but even he couldn't resolve ongoing creative disputes. Other talents like Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale contributed scripts hinting at the show's potential, but the tension between ambition and network expectations left Kolchak caught between innovation and repetition. Budget constraints also hurt the show, with inventive special effects limited by low funding and tight timelines. As the season progressed, both quality and morale declined. The dark, atmospheric tone gave way to campier storytelling, disappointing viewers who expected the sophistication of the original TV movies. By early 1975, McGavin reached his breaking point and requested to be released from his contract, exhausted and disillusioned. ABC agreed, sealing Kolchak's fate with its lead star unwilling to continue. The ratings and time slot curse. Even before the conflicts behind the scenes boiled over, Kolchak faced an uphill battle on television's front lines, its time slot. When the show debuted on ABC in September 1974, it aired on Friday nights at 10 p.m., a notoriously difficult slot for attracting younger audiences. Competing against popular shows and end-of-week fatigue, Kolchak struggled to find consistent ratings. Though it drew a devoted cult following, it couldn't compete with the mainstream programming ABC hoped would dominate the evening. The network experimenting with moving the show to earlier slots, first shifting it to 8 p.m. in early 1975, but by then, much of the audience had already lost track. The lack of promotional support didn't help. While ABC marketed its lighter comedies and family shows aggressively, Kolchak received little publicity. For a horror-driven series relying on suspense and atmosphere, poor marketing and inconsistent scheduling spelled disaster. Viewers who did discover the series often tuned in out of curiosity about its paranormal premise. Episodes like The Ripper and The Werewolf were especially popular, featuring classic horror motifs reinvented for modern television. Yet the formula, Kolchak investigates, uncovers supernatural threat, defeats it, and is disbelieved, began to feel repetitive. Without stronger overarching narratives or recurring villains, casual viewers drifted away. Despite these problems, the show's critical reception was mixed rather than negative. Reviewers praised McGavin's charm and the show's bold tone, but noted the uneven production quality. It was simply a matter of timing. A dark, cynical, supernatural series in an era dominated by upbeat sitcoms and police procedurals. Kolchak was too strange, too ahead of its time, to thrive in a television landscape that wasn't ready for serialized horror. As ratings dipped and production costs remained high, ABC saw little reason to renew the series for a second season. Creative friction and the monster problem. One of the biggest dilemmas plaguing Kolchak was its weekly monster format, which featured a new supernatural menace in each episode. While it offered variety, it constrained writers with a rigid structure. As seasons progressed, conflicts intensified. Writers like Jimmy Sangster introduced ambitious stories, such as Horror in the Heights, which blended Hindu mythology with urban horror. Others, like David Chase, crafted darker tales. But many scripts faced censorship from ABC, which demanded that supernatural elements be toned down or explained scientifically, comprising the show's integrity. Budget constraints further complicated execution. Special effects were often improvised, leading to less frightening monsters and scenes that sometimes appeared campy. Legacy and influence on future television.
Wait a minute, who are you?
Press.
I wouldn't if I were you.
Son, I've seen more dead bodies than you've had TV dinners. Oh, yeah. Old age and boredom. Hey, how'd it happen?
Well, apart from the old people, the other tenants in this area are rats. And rats do get hungry.
Rats.
Anything else you want to know?
No, of course
You
not.
take care, okay?
While Kolchak's network life was short, its influence proved enormous. The show's format, a skeptical journalist investigating paranormal phenomena ignored by authorities, became a blueprint for future television hits. The most notable disciple was The X-Files. Creator Chris Carter repeatedly cited Kolchak as a major inspiration, noting that, quote, 30% of The X-Files came from Kolchak. Carter even tried to bring Darren McGavin back as Kolchak for an episode. McGavin declined to reprise the role, but agreed to play Arthur Dales, an aging FBI agent described as the father of The X-Files. It was a subtle nod to Kolchak's lasting legacy. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite memory of Kolchak? Let us know in the comments section below.